Yeah. Rust on the tap when I turn the handle. Sipping on the metallic heavy metal of the borough's mantle. Cold ceramic tiles beneath my callous feet. I watch the steam rise while the radiators heat. No radiator fluid, just a hiss and a groan. 100 souls breathing through the skeleton of stone. I saw the pigeon feathers stuck in the tar above the greasy window of the corner bar, where the veterans of the pavement trade stories for copper. Watching the patrol cars looking for a topper. I'm reading Paracelsus in the back of the laundromat, spinning cycles of my life like a hi-hat. Dirty laundry tumbling in the heated drum, waiting for the clarity of the soul to come.
I'm water in the cup of the king. Concrete bells that refuse to ring, weighing down the spirit with the anchor of the block. Watching the hands move on the broken clock.
I walk past the scrapyard on Junior Street, where the crushed fenders and the oil leaks meet. Magnetic cranes lifting up the ghosts of the past. Nothing in this architecture was built to last, except the lesson learned in the furnace of the coal, turning every ounce of my silver into gold. I saw a mural of a face I used to know, fading into the break as the seasons go. Acid rain eating at the pigment of his eyes. Truth is just a disguise for the clever lies. I keep my notebook tucked in the lining of my coat, staying afloat on the sea where the heavy things float. The water tastes like pennies and the air tastes like soot, building up the kingdom from the bottom of the foot.
If the lead is in the pipes, then the lead is in the blood, rising from the basement through the city's mud. I count the stains on the ceiling like a map, avoiding every trap that was set in the gap between the dream and the waking reality. Climbing up the ladder of my own duality. The iron is the strength if you learn how to bend, beginning at the point where the other lives in.
Let the sediment settle, pure mind over heavy metal, filter through the fabric of the struggle. One drop of gold in the rubble. White noise on the frequency, channeling the ancestors through the vacancy. Static on the television in the lobby of the project. Life is just an object of a different subject. I'm tuning into the signals from the satellite, trying to get the narrative of the battle right. I see the glitches in the fabric of the brick and mortar, chaos masquerading as a different kind of order. I heard the hum of the transformer on the pole, vibrating the frequency of my very soul. My auntie used to say the hum was the voice of God, walking through the valley where the angels never tried. I'm catching snippets of a sermon from a passing car, wondering if the truth is really that far. I'm an antenna for the agony and the bliss, catching every nuance that the heavy hitters miss.
Stuyvesant
Static in the wires of the brain, listening for the message in the falling of the rain. No signal is clear when the mountain is high. We just broadcast our hopes to the indigo sky. I saw a man talking to a payphone that wasn't there, arguing with the molecules of the heavy air. He was tuned to a station that I couldn't reach, practicing the sermon that the concrete used to preach. I felt the feedback loop in the marrow of my bones, walking past the bodega and the cooling stones. There's a code in the crackle of the plastic bag, caught on the wire of the tattered flag. I'm deciphering the static in the radio waves before they bury all the secrets in the shallow graves. I put my ear to the wall of the hallway, listening to the secrets that the tenants never say. The muffled shouts and the sound of the television, refining the signal with a surgical precision. Every hiss is a prayer that was never heard. Every pop is the ghost of a spoken word. I'm cleaning up the audio of the memory, building a bridge to a better century. The static is the canvas where the picture starts, finding the rhythm in the breaking of the heart. Stay tuned to the hum of the cosmic alignment, breaking the chains of the mental confinement. Clear signal coming through, filtered through the old and the new. The static dies down, silence in the crown. souls in a cell, but the fifth is in the mind, seeking out the treasures that the physical can't find. I stepped into the chamber where the silences await, deciphering the symbols on the heavy iron gate. There's a scroll hidden in the lining of the lung, written in the language that the ancient ones sung. I saw the blueprint of the temple and the dust on the floor, opening the latch of the secret internal door. The four chambers of the heart pump the blood of the street, but the fifth chamber is where the soul and the spirit meet. It's the space between the breaths in the middle of the night, when the darkness is heavy and you're searching for the light. I found a compass in the pocket of an old leather vest, pointing to the center of the internal quest.
In the fifth chamber,
where the ego dies,
underneath the pressure of the Brooklyn sky.
No gold in the vault, just the weight of the word,
the loudest message that was never heard.
I walked through the archway of the botanical garden, seeking out the soil where the spirit's never hardened. I saw the geometry of the petals in the rose, the way the Fibonacci sequence flows and grows. That's the architecture of the fifth room, expanding like a flower in the middle of the gloom. I sat on the bench and I closed my eyes tight, until the inner vision was the only sight. I saw the brownstone stacked like a pyramid, hiding all the wisdom that the ancestors hid. In the mortar and the brick and the fire escapes, changing all the shadows into holy shapes. I'm a stonemason working on a spiritual wall, building up the spirit so the body doesn't fall.
It's the sanctuary in the middle of the war, the only destination worth fighting for.
Clear your head of the clutter and the noise,
finding the balance
and the internal poise. The fifth chamber is open for the ones who can see
the truth of the self and the mystery.
Unlock the bolt and step through the frame,
leaving behind the burden of the name. Inside the quiet,
after the riot, the fifth room,
beyond the tomb.
Yeah, searching for the diamonds in the heap of the glass, watching all the hours of the heavy day pass. I saw the sun hit the top of the trash pile, making every bottle look like gold for a while. It's the alchemy of the desperate eye, finding a reason to keep reaching for the sky. I saw a child playing with the rusted bicycle rim, spinning it like a halo in the light that was dim. There's a beauty in the breaking if you know where to look, in the forgotten pages of the history book, in the cracks of the sidewalk where the weeds start to grow, defying all the concrete that the city can throw. I'm a scavenger of the spirit in the junkyard, trying to keep the softness when the exterior is hard. Gilded rubble in the palm of the hand, building up a castle on the shifting sand. Every broken piece is a part of the whole, the chemistry of the urban soul. I found a velvet chair on the side of the road, carrying the weight of a heavy human load. The stuffing was coming out like the clouds in the sky, underneath the gaze of the all-seeing eye. I sat for a moment and I felt like a king in the middle of the wreckage that the seasons bring. I saw the graffiti on the abandoned warehouse, quiet as a shadow and still as a mouse. The tags were like hieroglyphs from a lost tribe, capturing the feeling that the words can't describe. There's a glory in the ruins that the new can't touch, even when the struggle is a little too much. We are the architects of the beautiful decay, finding the light in the middle of the gray. Don't sweep away the pieces of the shattered vase. Every fragment is a record of the time and the place. Glue them back together with the gold of the mind, leaving all the bitterness and the anger behind. The rubble is the foundation for the new world, with the banner of the spirit finally unfurled. Walk with the purpose through the debris, finally becoming what you're meant to be. Shiny things in the dirt, healing all the old hurt. Gilded and grand in the palm of my hand. Yeah. Yeah. I'm standing at the counter of the spot on the corner, between the celebration and the grieving of the mourner. The smell of the grease and the loose cigarettes, mixing with the incense and the deep-seated regrets. I saw a candle burning by the lottery machine, a little bit of sacred in the middle of the scene. There's a photo of a brother taped to the glass, watching all the people as the minutes pass. I bought a gallon of water and a loaf of the bread, thinking about the words that the prophet said. Man does not live by the loaf alone, but by the vibration of the internal tone. I'm paying in change that I found in the couch, hiding all my wisdom in the leather pouch. Bodega Altar, under the yellow light, getting through the struggle of the long night. Sacred snacks and the holy soda, living in the borough of the high pagoda. The high pagoda. I saw the cat sleeping on the stack of the beer, ignoring all the chaos in the citywide fear. He's the guardian of the threshold, the lion of the aisle, watching all the customers with the feline smile. There's a map of the islands on the back of the door, reminding all the exiles what they're fighting for. I felt the energy shift when the sun went down, putting on the weight of the urban crown. I'm pouring out a little on the sidewalk crack, knowing that the brothers ain't never coming back, but the spirit is in the air and the moisture in the brick, keeping the flame on the internal wick. This is the temple of the everyday man, doing what he can within the master plan. Don't look for the cathedral with the stained glass window, look for the truth in the bodega's crescendo, in the click of the register, in the hum of the fridge, in the space between the borough and the Manhattan Bridge. Every transaction is a ritual act, keeping the spirit and the body intact. Bow your head when you step through the plastic strips, with the name of the creator on your silent lips. Open late for the soul, making every part whole, at the corner of the block, where the spirit don't stop. Yeah. Yeah. I'm painting with my words on the side of the train, capturing the color of the collective pain. The gray is the base, but the spirit is the hue, bringing out the purple in the deep space blue. I used a permanent marker on the back of the seat, leaving a trace for the people I'll never meet. It's the cave art of the modern era, looking in the mirror of the urban terror. I saw a tag on the bridge that was 50 feet high, wondering how the brother reached up to the sky. He must have had wings or a heart full of fire, risking it all for the name on the wire. I'm sketching my life in the margins of the day, finding the words that I'm too afraid to say. Concrete canvas from the ground to the roof. Every layer of the paint is another piece of proof that we were here when the world was cold, writing out the stories that were never told. I saw the buffer man with the bucket. I saw the buffer man with the buck. Yeah. I saw the buffer man with the bucket of the white, trying to erase all the work of the night, but the layers underneath all the history of the block, etched in the surface of the sedimentary rock. You can cover the name, but you can't kill the vibe of the secret message and the spiritual scribe. I'm an illustrator of the inner dimension, drawing the lines of the metaphysical tension. I use the soot from the exhaust to shade in the face of the angel watching over this God-forsaken place. There's a mural on the handball court in the park, glowing like a lantern in the middle of the dark. It's a map of the stars in the shape of the street, where the destiny and the coincidence meet. I grabbed the spray can and the bucket of the soul, making the fragmented pieces of the city feel whole. Don't worry about the frame or the gallery wall, the concrete is the only canvas that will never fall. Let the ink bleed and the colors run deep into the secrets that the city used to keep. We are the art and the artists combined, designing the future with the power of the mind. Wet paint on the soul, taking back the control. On every brick, the ink is thick. Walking down the avenue with the book in my palm, trying to keep the spirit in the internal calm. Past the elevated track where the iron screams, disturbing the flow of the collective dreams. Every address is a page in the spell, hiding the stories that the residents won't tell. I saw a woman throwing salt on the stoop, breaking the cycle of the negative loop. She was chanting a rhyme in the tongue I didn't know, watching the shadows of the enemies go. I'm collecting the herbs from the cracks in the lot, cooking up a potion in the internal pot. I found a leather-bound diary in the box of the junk, smelling like the incense and the urban funk. Franklin Ave Grimoire, written in the soot, following the path of the spiritual foot. Every block is a chapter, every street is a verse, breaking the cycle of the ancestral curse. I saw the 2 train coming like a dragon of steel, making the vibration that the ancestors feel. I read the signs on the storefronts like a prophecy, deciphering the nature of the urban philosophy. The we buy gold sign is a metaphor for the soul, trying to make the broken parts of the spirit feel whole. I sat on the stairs of the library wing, listening to the song that the pigeons sing. They're the messengers of the asphalt in the sky, watching all the secrets of the people pass by. I'm writing my own incantation in the back, keeping my vision on the spiritual track. There's a power in the naming of the things you see, setting the energy and the spirit free. Study the geometry of the street lights in the middle of the long and the heavy nights. The grimoire is open for the ones who can read the harvest of the spirit from the struggle seed. Turn the page slowly and look at the ink, finding the connection and the missing link between the ancient world and the modern day, finding the light in the middle of the gray. Spellbound on the block, beyond the tick of the clock. The book is wide, nowhere to hide. Yeah. I'm counting the copper in the jar on the shelf, trying to find the value of the internal self. Lincoln's profile, looking back with a sigh, underneath the gaze of the indigo sky. Every penny is a moment of the time that I spent, wondering where the energy and the spirit went. I saw a penny on the sidewalk, heads up for the luck, avoiding the wheels of the delivery truck. I picked it up and I felt the chill of the metal, waiting for the dust of the ambition to settle. It's the smallest currency in the kingdom of the street, where the poverty and the potentiality meet. I'm building up the wealth of the mind and the heart, making a masterpiece of the spiritual art. Copper pennies in the pocket of the poor, knocking on the heavy and the iron door. Worth more than the gold if you know how to use them, in the game of the life where you win or you lose them. I saw the man at the fountain in the middle of the park, throwing in his wishes before it got dark. The copper hit the water with a little splash, adding to the treasure in the watery stash. He was trading his currency for a moment of hope, trying to find a way to the end of the rope. I felt the weight of the coins in the palm of my hand, like the grains of the time in the hourglass sand. There's a conductivity in the copper and the zinc, connecting all the thoughts that we're trying to think. I'm a circuit board for the urban energy, building up the power for the new century. Don't look at the face of the date on the coin, look at the point where the spirits join. Every cent is a lesson that you had to pay for. Walking through the fire and the internal war. Stack them up high until they reach to the sun, knowing that the work is never really done. The copper is the bridge to the higher vibration, building up the foundation of the new nation. Keep your eyes on the ground and your head in the clouds, finding the truth in the middle of the crowds. Change in the jar, following the star. Small things matter, let the ego shatter. Feeling the calcium in the frame of my chest, taking a moment for the spirit to rest. The zinc is in the blood and the bone is the stone. Walking through the city on a path of my own. I saw the skeleton of a building on the block, frozen in the middle of the temporal shock. The rebar is the ribs and the concrete is the skin, hiding all the secrets that are buried within. I felt the marrow vibrating with the sound of the bus, reminding all the people what becomes of the us. We are minerals of memory in a temporary shell, trying to find the heaven in the middle of the hell. I'm a geologist of the human condition, working on the details of the spiritual mission.
Zinc and bone in the structure of the man, working with the tools of the master plan. Harder than the steel but lighter than the air, finding the truth in the middle of the prayer. Finding the truth in the middle of the prayer.
I saw an old man leaning on a wooden cane, carrying the wisdom and the physical pain. His knuckles were like knots on an ancient tree, showing me the person that I'm going to be. He said the bone is the record of the life that you led. Every single word that the ancestor said is etched in the surface of the internal frame, beyond the vibration of the physical name. I felt the strength in the structure of my own spine, straightening the path of the internal line. There's a temple in the body if you know how to build, with the Holy Spirit and the energy filled. Don't worry about the rust or the physical decay, focus on the light that will never go away.
Every joint is a hinge and the door to the soul, making all the parts of the spirit feel whole. The zinc is the shield and the bone is the key to the final mystery of the being to be.
Walk with the rhythm that the ancestors know, watching all the seeds of the spirit grow.
We are ancient and new at the same time, reaching for the peak of the internal climb. Solid as a rock, beyond the tick of the clock, frame of the light, in the middle of the night.
Yeah, I'm sitting on the milk crate outside the laundromat, talking about the cosmos and the where it's at, with the brothers in the hoodies and the elders in the hats, avoiding all the traps of the governing cats. I'm citing Socrates and the wisdom of the now, while the people pass by with a skeptical smile. They think I'm just a dreamer with a notebook and a pen, but I'm calculating cycles of the now and the then. I saw the dialectic in the way the traffic flows between the yes and the no that the city knows. Every red light is a thesis, every green is a change, in a world that is static, in a world that is strange. I'm a student of the pavement in the University of Hard Knocks, keeping my secrets in the cardboard box. Flatbush Philosopher with the nectar in the cup, watching all the spirits as they're coming up. No ivory tower, just a brick in the stone, finding all the truth on the path of my own. I saw a man reading Hegel on the B41 underneath the heat of the midday sun. He was marking up the margins with the yellow highlight, trying to get the logic of the struggle right. I felt the synthesis of the street and the school, breaking all the limits of the colonial rule. There's a logic in the hustle and the way we survive, keeping the fire of the spirit alive. I'm a sage of the stoop and the oracle of the block, watching for the timing of the spiritual clock. I saw the allegory of the cave in the subway tunnel, filtering the light through the narrow funnel. We get shadows on the wall until we turn around, finding the reality that's buried in the ground. Every conversation is a search for the truth in the middle of the age and the fire of the youth. Don't look for the answers in the dusty old book. Look at the world with a different look. The street is the classroom and the life is the test. Find in the center of the internal quest. Speak your wisdom with the loud and the clear voice, giving all the people a different choice.
Wisdom on the corner,
for the seeker and the mourner,
thinking man's game
beyond the name.
Yeah. I'm wearing all my scars like a row of the gold, for every single story that was never told. The heavy metals of the struggle on the chest of the brave, from the cradle to the edge of the urban grave. I saw a veteran of the block with a limp in his stride, carrying his honor and his internal pride. He didn't need a parade or a flag on the pole. He had the victory in the center of his soul. Every bruise is a trophy, every cut is a sign that I'm still standing on the front of the line. I'm a general of the spirit in the war of the mind, leaving all the doubt and the fear behind. I saw the sun hit the buttons on the officer's coat, but my medals are the ones that the history wrote. Heavy metals on the soul of the king, listening to the song that the survivors sing. No weight is too much for the heart that is true, forged in the fire of the old and the new. Found a brass token in the pocket of the past, wondering how long the memory will last. It was a prize from a game that I used to play before the innocence started to fade away. I felt the weight of the metal in the palm of my hand, like a piece of the bridge to the promised land. There's a value in the endurance and the will to survive, keeping the fire of the ambition alive. I'm an athlete of the spirit in the race of the life, finding the peace in the middle of the strife. I saw the golden arches in the neon light, but my glory is the one that is hidden from sight. It's the internal shine and the spiritual glow that only the brothers in the struggle can know. Don't look for the applause or the public acclaim, look for the power in the internal flame. Every victory's a step on the path to the high, underneath the gaze of the indigo sky. Wear your medals with the humble and the proud heart, making the masterpiece of the spiritual art. We are the champions of the everyday world, with the banner of the spirit finally unfurled. Decorated soul, taking back the control. Heavy and bright, in the middle of the night.
It's the weight of the world in the thin rubber skin, trying to float where the gravity wins. A lead balloon drifting over the street, Where the asphalt and the heavy air meet, I felt the pull of the pavement on the soles of my shoes. Thinking about the things that I'm willing to lose. Every breath is a struggle to keep it aloft. When the world is hard and the spirit is soft, I saw a silver cloud with the center of the gray, watching all the color of the hope fade away. It's the burden of the dream in the physical form. I'm trying to stay calm in the middle of the storm. I'm a pilot of the heavy and the sinking heart, trying to find the point where the miracles start. The lead balloon in the indigo sky, watching all the hours of the day pass by. Too heavy to fly, but too light to fall, answering the gravity's internal call. I saw a child let go with a string in the park, watching the balloon drift into the dark. It didn't rise up, it just hovered in the air like a physical manifestation of a prayer. I felt the density of the thoughts in my own head, thinking about the words that the ancestors said. You can't reach the sun with a heart made of stone. Walking through the valley on a path of my own. I'm an alchemist of the weight and the light, trying to get the chemistry of the spirit right. There's a secret in the sink if you know how to swim, filling up the cup to the very top brim. Don't fight the gravity, use it to ground, finding the silence in the middle of the sound. Every disappointment is a layer of the lead, adding to the things that are left unsaid. But the fire in the center can turn it to gold if you keep the spirit in the internal hole. Let the balloon sink until it hits the floor, then you find the key to the hidden internal door. We are rising by falling into the deep, into the secrets that the city used to keep. Sinking up high under the sky, leading to gold, story be told.
Yeah. I'm laying down the foundation in the early light, after the struggle of the heavy night. One brick at a time in the wall of the soul, making every part of the spirit feel whole. I saw the mortar drying in the cracks of the day, watching all the doubts start to fade away. It's the slow work of the master in the tool, breaking all the limits of the colonial rule. I saw a mason with the level in his steady hand, building up the structure of the promised land. He didn't rush the process or the internal flow, knowing that the seeds of the spirit take time to grow. I'm a builder of the temple in the middle of the block, etched in the surface of the sedimentary rock. Brick by brick in the urban design, following the path of the internal line. No shortcuts to the top of the tower, finding the source of the spiritual power. Yeah. I saw the ruins of a house that was built on the sand, scattered like the pieces of the broken land. But the brick house was still standing tall, refusing to buckle or to internal fall. I felt the strength in the weight of the clay, carrying the burden of the everyday. There's a secret in the baking of the fire in the earth, giving all the people a new spiritual birth. I'm a laborer of the light in the factory of life, finding the peace in the middle of the strife. I saw the skyline and the tower with the glass, watching all the hours of the history pass. But the brick is the memory and the brick is the truth, capturing the wisdom and the fire of the youth. Every layer is a lesson that you had to learn, in the middle of the bridge that you had to burn. Stack them up high until they reach to the stars, breaking all the limits in the internal bars. We are the architects of the beautiful world, with the banner of the spirit finally unfurled. Work with the purpose and a steady hand, building up the future in the middle of the land. Solid and true, old and the new, one at a time, making the climb. I'm
flicking the remnants of the fire to the floor. Watching all the hours of the day out the door. Ash on the stoop like a dusting of the snow. Watching all the spirits of the people go. It's the residue of the passion and the flame. Beyond the vibration of the physical name. I saw a man leaning on the iron rail, looking like a ghost and a little bit pale. He was exhaling the ghosts of the past, wondering how long the memory would last. I felt the chill of the evening on my own skin, thinking about the secrets that are buried within. I'm a phoenix in the middle of the urban decay, rising from the remnants of the yesterday. Ash on the stoop in the middle of the night, waiting for the coming of the morning light. Everything burns but the spirit remains, breaking all the limits and the internal chain. I saw the gray smudge on the forehead of the child, in a world that is heavy and a little bit wild. It was a sign of the mortality and the grace, in the middle of the struggle of the urban place. I felt the warmth of the brick against my own back, keeping my vision on the spiritual track. There's a beauty in the burning and the turning to the dust, beyond all the anger and the physical lust. I'm a scholar of the ember and the dying light, trying to get the chemistry of the spirit right. I saw the smoke rising from the chimney of the plant, listening to the song that the ancestors chant. It's the cycle of the life and the fire and the wind, finding all the points where the stories begin. Don't sweep away the remnants of the old self, put them on the altar or the internal shelf. Every speck of the ash is a part of the whole, the chemistry of the urban soul. Let the wind carry all the pieces away into the beginning of the new day. We are reborn in the middle of the fire, reaching for the peak of the spiritual desire.
Dust to the wind, where we begin.
Stoop is a throne.
Now I am known.
I'm selling my skills. I'm selling my skills for the price of the survival, watching all the moves of the spiritual rival. A mercenary mind in the middle of the war, thinking about the things that I'm fighting for. No allegiance to the flag or the government line, only to the spirit and the internal design. I saw the soldiers of the hustle on the corner of the block, watching for the timing of the mechanical clock. They were trading the time for the paper and the ink, avoiding all the thoughts that they're trying to think. I'm a higher gun for the truth and the light, in the middle of the long and the heavy night. I saw the contract written on the back of the hand, in the middle of the struggle of the promised land. Mercenary mind in the urban field, everything is broken but the spirit won't yield. No master but the self and the internal voice, making every moment a conscious choice. I saw the man in the suit with the silver tongue, talking about the lather that the brothers have hung. He wanted me to work for the profit in the game, ignoring all the presence of the physical pain. I told him that my spirit isn't something you can buy underneath the gaze of the indigo sky. I'm an independent agent of the metaphysical shift, trying to heal the wound in the spiritual rifts. There's a price for the peace and the cost for the soul, making every part of the spirit feel whole. I saw the drones flying over the top of the roof, searching for the truth and the physical proof, but the evidence is hidden in the center of the heart, making a masterpiece of the spiritual art. Don't sign the paper or the internal pact, keep the integrity and the spirit intact. Every mission is a step on the path to the high, underneath the gaze of the indigo sky. Work for the light and the power of the word, the loudest message that was never heard. We are the warriors of the everyday life, finding the peace in the middle of the strife. Free agent flow, watching it grow. No price on the head, only what's said.
I'm dipping the pen in the color of the night, writing out the visions of the spiritual sight. Indigo ink on the page of the soul, making every part of the spirit feel whole. It's the pigment of the depth in the third eye view, mixing up the old with the color of the new. I saw the ink bleed through the paper to the desk in a pattern that was strange and a little grotesque. It was a map of the stars in the shape of my hand, in the middle of the struggle of the promised land. I felt the flow with the liquid in the marrow of the bone, walking through the valley on a path of my own. I'm a scribe of the spirit in the hall of the record, beyond the vibration of the physical disco. Indigo ink from the deep space sea, writing out the nature of the being to be. No black and white, just a shade of the blue, finding the truth in the old and the new. I saw a mural in the station of the train, capturing the color of the collective brain. The faces were all painted in the indigo hue, looking for the light of the morning to break through. I felt the connection in the stroke of the brush, in the middle of the noise and the urban rush. There's a power in the pigment, in the weight of the dye, underneath the gaze of the indigo sky. I'm a painter of the internal dimension, drawing the lines of the metaphysical tension. I saw the ink well sitting on the side of the sink, thinking about the thoughts that I'm trying to think. It's the blood of the spirit and the sweat of the mind, leaving all the bitterness and the anger behind. Let the ink run until the page is all dark, finding the center and the internal spark. Every word is a drop of the indigo soul, taking back the spirit and the internal control. We are the writers of the beautiful story, in the middle of the struggle and the urban glory. Right with the purpose and the steady hand, building up the future in the middle of the land. Stay with the truth. I'm sitting on the orange seat at 2 in the morning, feeling like a spirit that was recently born. The A-Train hurtling through the dark of the tube, inside the geometry of the metal in the cube. I closed my eyes and I felt the body dissolve, watching all the problems of the physical resolve. I was floating through the tunnel like a ghost on the rail, in a world that is heavy and a little bit frail. I saw the stations passing like the gates of the sun, knowing that the journey has only begun. From far Rockaway to the heights of the hill, keeping the spirit and the internal still. I'm a passenger of the metaphysical flight, in the middle of the long and the heavy night. A-Train Astral through the spirit of the block, beyond the tick of the mechanical clock. No conductor but the energy and the flow, watching all the seeds of the spirit grow. I saw a man sleeping with the book on his chest, taking a moment for the spirit to rest. He was dreaming of the places where the iron don't go, beyond all the struggle in the urban woe. I felt the spark of the third rail in the center of the heart, making a masterpiece of the spiritual art. There's a rhythm in the clatter and the screech of the wheel, reminding all the people what the ancestors feel. I'm a commuter of the consciousness in the mind, leaving all the doubt and the fear behind. I saw the graffiti in the middle of the black, keeping my vision on the spiritual track. It's the hieroglyphs of the underground tribe, capturing the feeling that the words can't describe. Don't wait for the platform or the signal to change, in a world that is static, in a world that is strange. Step into the light of the internal car, following the path of the spiritual star. We get traveling together on the path to the high, underneath the gaze of the indigo sky. Hold on to the rail and look at the track, knowing that the spirit ain't never going back. Next stop, the sun. Race is almost run. ground, fly into the light. I'm polishing the surface of the internal plate, trying to get the timing of the energy straight. Sterling silver in the middle of the grime, capturing the essence of the moment in the time. It's the mirror of the spirit and the light of the moon. In the middle of the heavy in the urban afternoon, I saw the reflection of the clouds in the spoon, listening to the hum of the internal tune. Everything is tarnished if you don't keep it clean. In the middle of the struggle in the urban scene, I'm a silversmith of the word and the thought, protecting all the wisdom that the ancestors taught. I saw the jewelry in the window of the pawn, waiting for the coming of the spiritual dawn.
Sterling silver in the palm of the hand, walking through the fire of the promised land. Bright as the star and cold as the ice, paying for the wisdom with the ultimate price.
Yeah, I saw a woman wearing rings on every single finger, letting the vibration of the energy linger. She said the metal is the conduct of the spiritual force, keeping all the people on the natural course. I felt the chill of the silver on my own skin, thinking about the secrets that are buried within. There's a purity in the metal that the fire can't kill, keeping the spirit in the internal still. I'm a collector of the moments and the shiny things, watching all the patterns that the destiny brings. I saw the moon hit the top of the bridge, looking like a silver coin on the mountain ridge. It's the currency of the night and the shadow and the light, getting through the struggle of the long and the heavy night. Don't trade your silver for the plastic or the fake, keep the integrity in the spiritual state. Every scratch on the surface is a record of the war, thinking about the things that I'm fighting for. We are the silver in the middle of the gray, finding all the light in the middle of the day. Polish up the spirit and look at the shine, following the path of the internal line.
Shining so bright, reflecting the light, pure and true inside of you.
Touching the surface of the rusted outdoor, feeling like a spirit on the bottom of the floor. Velvet grime on the walls of the hall, answering the gravity's internal call. It's the soft texture of the heavy decay, in the middle of the struggle of the everyday. I saw the moss growing on the side of the brick, keeping the flame on the internal wick. There's a beauty in the dirt, in the oil and the soot, following the path of the spiritual foot. I felt the softness of the dust on the shelf, trying to find the value of the internal self. I'm a gardener of the ruins and the urban waste, finding all the secrets that the time has erased. Velvet grime on the skin of the city, beyond all the anger and the physical pity. Soft as the night and hard as the stone, finding all the truth on the path of my own. I saw a man sleeping on a pile of the rags, underneath the banner with the tattered flags. He was wrapped in the velvet of the urban dream, watching Watching all the spirits in the spiritual stream, I felt the connection in the texture of the street, where the poverty and the potentiality meet. There's a comfort in the shadow and the cooling of the air, finding all the answers in the middle of the prayer. I'm a weaver of the thread in the internal light, in the middle of the long and the heavy night. I saw the oil slick on the top of the rain, capturing the color of the collective pain. It was a rainbow with the purple and the green and the blue, finding all the truth in the old and the new. Don't wash away the record of the struggle and the war, thinking about the things that I'm fighting for. The grime is the layer that protects the internal gold, keeping all the spirit in the internal hold. We are the velvet in the middle of the rough, showing all the people that the love is enough. Walk with the purpose in a gentle hand, building up the future in the middle of the land. Soft to the touch, maybe too much. Dirt is the skin buried within. I'm climbing up the stairs to the top of the roof, searching for the final and the spiritual proof, leaving all the heavy and the leaden behind, reaching for the peak of the internal mind. I saw the city spreading like a map of the soul, making every part of the spirit feel whole. The brownstones look like pebbles in the distance below, watching all the seeds of the spirit grow. I felt the wind pulling at the collar of my coat, staying afloat on the sea where the heavy things float. I'm a climber of the ladder in the urban peak, finding all the answers that I used to seek. I saw the sun rising on the edge of the sky,
On the edge of the sky,
underneath the gaze of the indigo sky.
final ascent from the gutter to the sun, knowing that the work is finally done. No more gravity, only the flight into the beginning of the eternal light.
I saw the light hitting the top of the bridge, looking like a crown on the mountain ridge. I felt the connection to the stars and the moon, in the middle of the heavy and the urban afternoon. There's a freedom in the height and the clarity of the air, finding all the answers in the middle of the prayer. I'm an eagle of the spirit in the canyon of the street, where the destiny and the coincidence meet. I saw the graffiti on the top of the tank, giving all the credit and the spiritual thank to the ancestors and the guides and the teachers of the past, knowing that the spirit is the only thing that'll last. I'm a master of the cycle and the internal flow,
Watching all the seeds
of the spirit grow.
down, 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 down. Down, 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 down.
Yo, don't look down at the struggle or the pain of the climb. Focus on the moment and the essence of the time. Every step was a lesson that you had to learn, in the middle of the bridge that you had to burn. We are the spirits of the high and the low, watching all the secrets of the universe grow. Spread your wings and step off the edge, keeping the spirit in the internal pledge.
Finally free,
Becoming the me,
above the clouds.
singing it loud.